Thank you, Ambassador Power. I very much appreciate your initiative in organizing this special event back-to-back with the Security Council meeting on the human rights situation in North Korea just concluded. Whenever I hear the sad stories about North Korean refugees or defectors, my heart is torn apart just because they are the stories of our brothers and sisters and sons and daughters and cousins and nephews. Well, I think the stories we have just heard from Ms. and Mr. Kim are also very heartbreaking stories that I could not hear without pains. But I think it's a source of deep sadness that the North Korean defectors can find a new freedom or hope only at the expense of their family bonds or ties. But the problem is getting more serious and complex when it comes to the fact that the North Korean refugees are not the only Koreans who have been suffering from the separation of families. There are a far greater number of Koreans whose beloved families were lost during the Korean War back in early 1950s without knowing whether or not they are alive or dead. And the number of those in the South, I believe, stands somewhere around 130,000. And the number used to be more in the past, but it has continued to be reduced because almost 3,000 of separate families are passing away every year due to their old ages. But what is even more heartbreaking is the fact that this is not the problem between North and South Korea only. It is a within the border problem. There are still many South Koreans whose lost families are living in the South, not in the North, without knowing whether or not they are alive or where they are living. I still vividly remember this, spectacular scene in the special TV programs in the 1970s, which were designed by the TV broadcasting company to help those separate families find their beloved ones through nationwide broadcasting of the TV program. And then several hundred thousands people are gathered in Yeouido Island in Seoul, where the TV broadcasting station was located, and holding a board or a large sheet of paper in which they wrote the names of the lost families and their date of birth and how they were separated and their physical characteristics and even the shared memories during their childhood so that they can easily identify who they are. And many of them, some of them enjoyed a dramatic and happy reunion with their beloved families, but many of them did not. This is the tragic story shared by so many Koreans in both parts of the peninsula. So this is the reason why my government has continuously placed the highest priority on the family reunion in whatever inter-Korean dialogue since several decades ago. And we will continue to do so regardless of political ups and downs in terms of our relations with Pyongyang. But the problem is that North Koreans have continued to reject the sort of proposal from the South, and the time is running out for all those old people among the separate families. This is a sad story.